Yeah. Hi, hello. My name is Rin. I am God. I am using he, they pronouns today. Uh, let's go.
Let's go. I am Orchid. I am playing Cerise, and both me and my character, we use she, her, she, they, some form of funky she, herness.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome to Clocktower Realities. Let's go.
It's gonna be great.
It is gonna be great. This is part one of the kind of like the backstory series. We're gonna be doing a session per character's backstory, minus one character because they don't have rights yet.
Oh, I was like, Alex doesn't get rights.
No.
No rights.
Alright, we are going to start this off. Cerise, you feel weightless for a second. You are. You were just in the courtroom just like a second ago, but you're not there anymore. Instead, you are in your childhood bedroom, actually. Would you like to, say what it looks like for me?
Yeah. Growing up, Cerise was sort of not passed around, but like she lived in sort of a temple compound um, that she was raised by lots of different people in this religion, and they happened to like end up giving her her own room as she like grew because there weren't very many girls her age. So this like very basic sort of stone room has been sort of decorated specifically by her. So she has several like tapestries on the wall. Only one or two of which she did herself. You can see the sort of messier work on a few of them that she's did as she was growing up. Um, Her bed is uh, very comfortable looking, very much covered in pillows and blankets to sort of offset the cold stone of the room that she lived in growing up. Lots of like plush, like rugs, blankets, pillows all over the place. A few like candle holders on the walls just for some light, but other than that, there's not a lot of space in the room. So
Ah, that's so good. I like it a lot. I like it a lot, actually. Can you roll perception for me? First roll of
yes,
the
I can.
session.
First roll, first roll. I dropped my dice. Oh no!
Oh, this is an amazing first roll.
Oh no! I dropped it. Oh, okay, we're back. Let me. I got a 9.
Alright, let's see, let's see. With a 9, uh, you look down and your clothes are also different. It's not just you're in a different place than you were like a few minutes ago, but you're wearing something different. You feel different. You feel younger almost. Uh, what would you like to
She's
do?
a little disoriented. She's like been used to wearing like her traveling clothes that she had on when she was like introduced, but she like sort of like feels the familiar fabric of temple garb that she would have worn when she was younger. I don't. Okay. Dad, Dad, where's is he still here? And she's gonna look up towards the door of her room and probably try and go wander the compound looking for her dad.
Mhm. How quickly do you do that, actually?
Uh,
Like, are you just rushing forward, or are you, like, taking your time?
no, no. She's a little disoriented, a little not sure, but she hasn't been back in this room in a very long time, so she's probably gonna like look around, like look at her clothes, like feel like probably put her hand on the wall, like try and orient herself to
Okay.
being suddenly back, and then she's gonna like realize that, oh wait, and gonna go try and find her dad.
All right. Well, as the thought passes through your mind that you should go try to find your dad, uh, an order member actually comes into your room. You recognize him. Not he's not the tiefling you saw a little bit ago. He's someone from your childhood. He's someone who has done this before. Uh, and he goes, Cerise, hi, you're up. Good morning. Well,
Hi.
good time zone, I guess.
um I'm I'm looking for I was gonna go find my dad. Is he around?
I was just about to take you to him, actually. He wants to talk to you.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
was looking for you, and I told him you were asleep. So, you want to go
Okay.
see your brother?
Yeah.
All right. He takes you out of your room down a hallway. The hallway is eerily similar to the courtroom walls from before. You notice that there are the TV screens on the walls again. Uh, but these ones, well, one of them includes the reality that just was destroyed. So you can assume you have gone back to the past somehow.
Hmm.
Um, and he takes you into a slightly bigger room than your room, but it is decorated as a study. It's decorated as your father's study, actually. The walls are lined with bookcases, and in one corner there is a desk and a chair with a screen on a what looks like a computer on the desk, but it looks almost futuristic to what we would know in our timeline.
Hmm.
Uh, and as he hears the door opening, as the order member opens the door, he swivels around in the chair. My daughter, hi. And
Dad.
this is what he looks like. Hi. I'm glad to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too. Um.
You look
Did I?
you
I'm
look
sorry I
shaken. Are you
slept.
okay?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry I slept so long. Did you need me to do anything?
Oh no, not to do anything. I just wanted to tell you something. Are you sure you're right though? You look like you've had a nightmare.
Maybe just a little bit, but I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. Well, actually, speaking of that, um, uh, you know the leader, right, of this grand area.
Hmm.
You know how she sometimes sends me on missions.
Hmm.
She asked me last night if I would be willing to go on a bit of a longer mission this time.
You're going away?
It'll only take a few years, I promise. I will not be missing much. I swear to you, okay? I'll be back.
Okay.
I wouldn't just leave you
I'll.
like that. You know that. You know that. I love you.
I know. She's gonna sort of like stand up taller under the news of her dad leaving as she's like steeling herself to relive this memory again, and she's gonna like take a deep breath and go, I'll take care of stuff for you here. I'll be responsible. Be
I know. I know. But you better not grow into an order member while I'm gone, young lady.
okay.
Keep making art, okay? I want to see all of it when I return.
Okay, I will.
And as you say that, he kind of swipes his hand towards the order member that brought you in, and he puts his hand on your shoulder. It's time to go, kiddo, okay? Let's go do something else, alright?
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. And we are going to go ahead and do a, you know what? Let me describe this actually. As you walk out of the room, as you uh, go onto the other side of the door frame, it's almost like the door frame has become a portal of sorts. It's swirling blue, and when you walk through it, well, perception check.
Alrighty, that one's better. I got an 18.
You are once again in your room, but it looks different this time. Once again, your clothes have changed. You grew taller, and you can tell that it is your bedroom from your teen years instead of when you were about 10.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you would be about 16, maybe?
Okay.
Can you describe this to me?
Yeah, I would say nothing really changes, but you can tell that the art from before that she had done when she was 10, like the tapestries sort of like hanging, any sort of like, she worked with fabric a lot as a kid, like embroidery, that kind of stuff. The stitches on several pieces, there have been pieces changed out, alternated. You see several art, like pieces of art depicting doorways, um, much like the one from her father's study. But these are more intricate, more almost abstract in nature. And the stitching has gotten better as she's grown older and gotten more practice. The colors don't really change. You can see there was a bookshelf added, much like the ones in her father's study, as she took on much more responsibility than was probably necessary for a 10-year-old. But she threw herself into work, I guess, as her she saw her father often do in his absence. But other than that, the bed is still covered in very soft blankets, very bright colors still, as was in her childhood.
May I ask how your clothes have changed throughout the years?
Yeah, when she was younger, they were definitely more of like simple, like not like I have an image in mind and I can't word it. It's almost like not togas, but like that sort of like simple, like very flowy,
Like
um,
nightgown esque.
sort of, yeah, as when she was a kid, like before there was distinction, like more between like what rank you were. Like when you're kids, it's just like if there are not very many kids in the compound, they are all generally given the same sort of outfits. But as she got older, Cerise was then able to start like working on her own clothes, like making them into something that she would want to wear. So you can see sort of the same flowy like design, just generally more colorful, lots of purples and greens on this sort of like outer robe that she wears, and a lot of like flowers and like leaf designs, a lot of like natural stuff, uh, and you see that she has donned the earrings that she will be wearing later. They are sort of gold and with like rubies and emeralds in them. Some simple like hanging earrings, but they are still they look very nice, very elegant, as opposed to the simplicity, and then like homemade like version of her clothes.
Yeah.
That's sort of all that changes.
I like it a lot. It's good. You
She's
and I love Cerise,
funky.
actually. Let's see. Uh, what would you like to do as you notice the changes once again?
She's probably going to be a little like shaken up again, like disoriented. She'll steady herself on the bookshelf near the door and like sort of like look at some of the titles like in reminiscence, like, oh, I remember reading that. I remember like looking through these. And then she'll like look around the room and then like down at her clothes again, like feeling the embroidery that she did on her own. What is that? How? And then she's gonna look up kind of out the window, um, and see like whatever time of day it is, as she remembers that. Is he back? How many years? When did he? And then she'll turn again towards the door at her back and like want to go, but I don't know if she will
Can I just do
necessarily.
a question about the books, actually?
Mhm.
What some of the books have been from her father's study?
Yes, definitely.
Great. Also, I will. Can you roll investigation on the window?
Yeah, yeah. Investigation 16.
Uh, Outside the window, it doesn't look like how it normally would look in an order. In the order, it looks almost blurry, almost like you can't remember what it would have looked like outside.
Mm-hmm.
Ah. Uh, but as you are looking around, trying to orient yourself, the same order member as before, significantly older looking, has some graying hairs at this point, comes into your room once again. Cerise, child, hi.
Hello. Um, did you need me for anything?
Yes, actually. Um, the leader wants to speak to you about your father.
Okay. And she'll sort of like straighten up, like, she'll probably turn to the bookcase. It's got a couple little like knickknacks on it that she's found over the years, and she sees a little like stone of almost like purplish hue, and she's gonna pick it up and put it in her pocket. It's sort of her little good luck charm.
Ah,
And
that's
she's
good.
going to go, all right, I'm ready to see her.
Okay. Well, just to warn you, she may not be super empathetic today. She's been having to deal with a lot of different realities uh, crashing and a lot of different order members being rebellious. So, warning, she may not be the kindest today.
Okay, I understand.
Alright, well,
And she sort of like steels herself, and kind of you can see on her face that she like puts a mask of some kind on, and is um, walking now with purpose instead of being nervous or anxious about anything.
let's go talk to our goddess. Oh boy. And he takes you down the same corridor as you went, well, hallway corridor thing that you walked down, seemingly just a few minutes ago, but
Mm-hmm.
time zone wise, just a few years ago. Um, you can see that the TV screens have been rearranged, slash realities have been rearranged. They seem to
Mm-hmm.
be in a different order. Some of them are completely missing. Uh, One or two of them seemingly like have glitching screens on them,
Mm-hmm.
which you would know meant that the reality, went down.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a few of them have blank screens, which, with your knowledge of the order, means that there isn't a reality made there quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes you quite a bit farther than the study, to the middle of the order building thing. And you are now in a very large, very round room with a very high ceiling. Uh, and in the middle of the room, you can see Zara speaking to a few other order members that have very white, long hair, who look like elves, actually.
Hmm.
Um, and you can tell that these are sort of the elder order members.
Okay. I was like, what I know, sort of what their deal is, or what
Yeah.
like function they would have had. Yeah. Okay.
Can you roll history to see what like they're doing here?
Okay. Epic. Where's his? 18.
You remember actually that they were here to talk about the rebellious younger order members who
Hmm.
uh, just got into the order but are trying to change things for
Hmm.
no apparent reason.
Okay.
And they are trying to decide how to handle that, and they are coming up with a reason, one which you do not remember being told or anything.
Hmm.
Uh, and as you walk in, your escort, as I may say, uh, goes ahead and calls out to Zara. Hey, mistress, we've arrived. We're here. I brought Cerise with me. Um, the guy who left's daughter. Um, and at this, she tenses up slightly and turns towards you and kind of waves off the older order members, kind of in a motion of, I'm done talking to you about this right now, give me a sec. Uh, and she turns her gaze specifically on you. Cerise, was it? Welcome. I, uh, I'm sorry, I don't know much about you, but I do know much about your father. I asked you here so I could talk to you about him a little bit.
Okay. Yes, mistress.
Um, I have some bad news. He didn't come back from the reality he was sent to in the time that I told him to. You know how he left about 6 years ago? 7? 10? I don't know how many years ago it was. He was supposed to be gone for 2 years. It's been a bit longer, I think. I can't exactly tell, you know, order. Time is funky. Uh, but yeah,
Yes, mistress.
yeah,
It
no,
was
he's not
around
here.
6. I see. Um, so he defected then?
No, not exactly. Arguably, this may be a bit worse. Uh, I was told by someone else who went on that mission that he died during combat. He died honorably, of course, um, but that doesn't exactly excuse it. Uh,
I see.
so I don't think he's coming back, and I apologize for this information a bit late. Granted, I didn't know about it until a few days ago, but
I understand. Um, is there anything you would like me to do to fill in his absence?
sort of, actually. I will be giving you a choice. That's what the order's all about. We like choices here. Um, so there are a few choices here. Uh, you could go ahead and become an order member, like the rest of us and stay here and be sent on missions like your father did. Or I could send you to a reality to go to yourself. Either way, there are no hard feelings. But if you do go to your own reality, I I don't know if I'm gonna remember to do this, but I may have to wipe your memories of this place. Maybe. So it's up to
I
you.
understand.
I'm not gonna like make you make a decision, but within the next few days or next few minutes, hopefully, it'd be great to hear back.
Yes, mistress. I I think I want is the reality where my father died still available, open?
Currently, yes, it is still up and running. If no one destroys the clock tower or the clock tower owner, it'd be great. Although,
I
granted,
see.
she is supposed to be back by now. Anyway,
I see. I would, if you would let me, I would like to live there for a
that's
while.
alright with me. Do you want to be sort of close to where he was, or would you like to be in a whole different part of that world?
Um,
I can pinpoint any place you want to go.
I think I would like to be close to him one last time.
Absolutely, I can do that. That does not mean you'll be able to find his body. Granted, I can't let you go thinking that, but I can put you there. Of course, you won't be able to speak to a lot of us order members uh, after that, but
I understand.
okay. And she goes ahead and reaches out for your hand.
She puts her hand up and takes it.
As you take her hand, you see that blue swirling image that you not image, but this blue swirls in her eyes that you saw in the door beforehand, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And as you see that, uh, your entire body starts to glow with a blue hue, almost as blue as her skin, actually. Uh, would you close your eyes or keep them open for this?
She would probably be fascinated by the display of power, so she would probably try and absorb as much of it as she could for research purposes. She wants to see what happens.
Research on the goddess.
Yeah.
um, would you look into her eyes, or just in general, just keep them open?
I think the idea of this being like the goddess of like the order and like of you know like all of this power, she's like probably a little bit intimidated, so I think she would focus on like the stuff like happening kind of to herself and around, but I think she would like for a second just like glance like into her eyes and then like be looking other places.
You can see that she starts to glow a fainter glow than you are, but she's also glowing slightly. And around you, the order really big room that was just there turns into nothing but blue. The entire area around you is just a lot of blue and white, but nothing else except for you. Under
Mm-hmm.
that glow of you is you, and you're not blue, but everything else is just a bunch of different blues and whites and gray. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and for a second, it gets really, really bright. And then you wake up in a forest, in the woods. You are laying on your back, and if you look up, you are surrounded by giant trees. Can you roll perception for me?
Yes, I can. 17.
You have not changed. You are still a teenager at this point. You're still your 16-year-old self. You can determine that you were just sent to the reality that your father was in, about where he was sent on his mission.
Okay.
The woods around you are dense, but you can see in the far distance that there is a little town. What would you like to do?
Cerise is gonna sort of like sit up into kind of like a kneeling position, and she's gonna put her hand on the ground, and say something to the effect of, uh, "Thank you and goodbye," and then she's going to get up and sort of take a look around and start walking towards the town.
As you say thank you and goodbye, you feel a little pat on your shoulder, but don't see anything near you. You can assume it's from your goddess. uh, you said you're gonna head into town, right?
Mhm.
As you head into town, you can tell that this is the town that had the clock tower. But the clock tower looks different than it does in the future. Uh, it looks more messy, almost. It looks
Mhm.
like it's just one person running it instead of the 4 or 5 that uh, is going on in the future.
Okay.
Uh, but there's no one around the clock tower, so you can assume the owner is inside. Uh, the town itself also looks different, though. It looks it looks almost like it's a new settlement, but not that new.
Mhm.
It looks like maybe it was made 6 years ago, possibly.
Mhm.
um, you can see around you there are small houses, uh, and a few pop-up shops. What would you like to do as you walk into this town?
Cerise is sort of dwelling very heavily, I think, on the fact that like this is the last place that her father was, or around there, and she's sort of moving slower, kind of taking it all in, as she's sort of weighing her options. Like, does she stay here? Does she settle down? Does she move on, see other things in this world? So she's kind of like thinking about all that while she's walking around and taking all this stuff in. So she's probably a little absent-minded.
Uh, as you are just walking around, just having a little stroll, you bump into someone. Uh, and you can tell by your knowledge of the future uh, that it is in fact Runa. Actually, she looks very frazzled. She looks like she has just run on a like uh, what's the word?
Marathon.
No. When you go get stuff from stores, errands.
Errand.
Yes, that. She looks like
Running errands.
yeah, she looks like she has been running errands and bartering, and she is very tired of bartering and talking to people.
Mhm. I like physically like bump into her,
Yeah,
or oh okay,
because neither one of you are paying a lot of attention.
real.
She just wants to get back to the clock tower, and you're just walking around.
Yeah, okay. She'll be like, I'm so sorry. Did I hurt you? Did I knock anything over? She's gonna like look for like stuff if she needs to like pick it up off the ground. Because would she would she recognize Runa or would she not?
I'd say so, probably. Maybe, actually.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not completely sure. Would she? Did you
I
get a good
think
face
she
did you get a good look at her face at any point in time?
I think she knows what the symbols on her face mean. I don't think she's seen Runa before.
Okay.
So I think she's instantly like deferring to her as an authority and being like, "Oh my gosh, did I like hurt you? Like, are you okay? Like, do you like need me to do anything for you?" Like that sort of like servitude kind of attitude that she was living in growing up in the compound. So she's like, person, do you need anything from me?"
That's so valid, actually. She kind of just goes, "Oh, hi. No, I'm okay. Are you okay, kiddo? You're new, right? I haven't
Yeah.
seen you around before. I technically I haven't
I'm
seen half the people around here before, so
I'm a wanderer, sort of. Um
well, welcome to town. Uh if you need anything, come to the clock tower, the big giant clock tower over there. That's my place."
okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I are you okay? I'm strong. I didn't drop anything. Are you good? Hmm?
Yes, ma'am. I'm fine.
Oh, you don't have to call me that.
Um I'm sort of just stopping by town. So,
Oh no,
um
that's fine. Do you want to come back to the clock tower for like a drink or something? Are you okay?
um
Yeah. You look frazzled.
yes, I suppose I wasn't paying very much attention. I don't want to impose.
Oh no, it's an offer. It's an offer, hun. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Um
It's an invitation. You don't have to. You don't have to come if you don't want to. I'm not gonna force you to do anything.
a a drink of water would be lovely, actually.
Then come with me, hun. And she kind of just grabs your hand and pulls you over to the clock tower. And you can tell she's a very strong woman.
Yes. Very physical, very strong woman. Yes.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh, okay. We're going. Okay."
She is, in fact, a dwarf. I will tell you this.
Yeah. That's really good.
uh, as you two get to the door, she stops for a second, and well, you do. It doesn't seem like there's a door there. Actually, it just seems like a wall. But you notice her putting in a code into the side of the wall, and a door magically opens. Uh, and you two walk inside, and you can tell that the living room isn't as furnished or as nice looking
Mm,
as it is in the future. Uh, it's very modest, is one word for it.
yeah.
uh, Very much so. Not a lot of lavish things in here. There's a tea kettle in the corner a and chairs strewn about the place and a table in the middle. But and it's very not well decorated. You can kind of guess that the kobolds were the one doing the most of the decorating.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Cerise is just gonna be like following Runa around, like, "Oh, I don't know what to do here."
she motions for you to sit down at a chair as she walks over to the tea kettle. Would you prefer tea, coffee, just water? Lemonade,
Oh,
even? I have lemonade.
uh, tea would be lovely, actually.
What flavor? I have peppermint. Peppermint is my favorite personally, but I understand if it's not yours.
I like peppermint.
Awesome, great. Because that's about all I have. I'm very not used to guests. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's all right.
You just look very frazzled and distraught. Are you okay?
Um, I am. I just have. I heard news about my family. It was a little upsetting.
Oh, I get that. That's okay. I I understand. You don't have to talk about any of it if you don't want to.
I appreciate it. I didn't. I don't want to bother you with it. It's
Oh, it's no bother, love. Don't worry about it.
um. I just had received news that my dad had passed away.
Oh,
Um,
that's terrible.
I had heard that this was one of the last places he had been, so I came to see it, I guess. But I'll be moving on
Oh,
shortly.
you don't have to. We have plenty of space. Don't worry. Like
I I do.
we're fairly new on settlements here still, so
I appreciate the offer. I do. I think I just want to get more acquainted with the region.
yeah, of course.
I appreciate the hospitality.
Yeah, no worries. I don't actually do this often. You just strike me as very polite and kind.
I I do my best. Um,
I'm sure you were raised by a very wonderful father.
I was.
I'm sure he'd be very proud of you if he saw you today.
Thank you.
And as you say that, the tea kettle starts whistling. It starts going.
It's really funny.
I know.
Comedic timing. Perfect.
And she just goes, "Oh, goodness. Okay. Sorry, I lost track of everything." Um, and she quickly pulls out a few cups from a cupboard, and a few tea bags, and goes ahead and starts brewing up the tea instead of just
While
having really hot
she's
water.
while she's like walking around with her back to Cerise, she's gonna like quickly like wipe her eyes and like collect herself a little bit because I'm crying about this stupid fictional dad.
Are you?
Anyways, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Are we?
Yes.
uh.
Back in it. Back in it. Okay.
uh. She goes back to being her frazzled self and is kind of being kind of clumsy and knocking over a few things. You can kind of gather that this is why there's so many chairs that are just strewn around. Miss Ma'am is very clumsy.
Real.
And she goes ahead and pours a few cups, and she takes it over to you and sets yours on the table with a little leaf shaped coaster. Because leaves are good, and I like leaves.
Leaves are good.
Obviously,
Let
I
go.
like leaves.
And let go. Yeah.
uh,
Cerise is just gonna like hold her little teacup and smell it and like it a lot.
uh, Actually, after a few seconds of just sipping the tea, she kind of just goes, "Oh, I have a thing I can give you. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna go up to the attic. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere."
Yeah, okay.
And
She's like pondering tea and she goes, 2 seconds. She goes, oh, okay. She like was not paying attention. She's like, okay.
she, after what seems like forever, but you can gather it's probably only been like 15 minutes. Uh, she comes scrambling back downstairs with a box in her hands, marked on like with something on the ababa. The the end of the box is marked sharp. Do not touch with bare hands. It is bad. And you can tell that she wrote that herself.
It's really funny.
Because as I said before, she is clumsy. If she has sharp things, real bad.
Real bad.
um, and she sets it on. She sets it in the middle of the table, and goes, "I haven't been able to use these. I've been actually thinking of selling them, but none of the places around here are willing to buy them. Uh, they think they're cursed. They're not cursed. I promise you, they're not cursed. And she opens the box and takes out a set of 3 daggers, and they look kind of like this, but each of them are slightly different in the pattern.
Fucking daggers! Let's
She,
go.
she continues, I got this from my home, actually. Um, it's been a long time since I've been there. It's been 4 years now? Yeah, 4 years since I've been home. And I took these with me because they were given to me by my superiors at work. But I haven't been able to use them recently because I haven't had a need. So I would like you to have them, actually.
Oh, if you're sure.
I'm sure. I haven't been able to find a person who gives off the same aura as you quite yet. So I would love for you to have them.
Thank you so much for these. These are beautiful.
I'm glad you think though so. The shopkeepers around here don't think so, but I'm glad you do.
Would Cerise recognize the pattern of these as something that the order would have like
Yeah,
commissioned or like had? Okay.
yeah. You can tell that they're similar as the sword that the Clocktower assassin had, actually.
Okay.
Which means they are
Thinking
forged by
about.
the order and can kill an order member.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Um, she looks at these daggers and like says that they're really pretty, and then she looks up at Runa like with recognition sort of in her eyes, and she's heavily debating mentioning the order compound. She's like, she's putting two and two together. She's big brain time. She's looking at these daggers like, oh, oh.
If you notice the times.
I do notice times. Um, so she's looking at these daggers, and instead of asking sort of about the order, she goes, "These are beautiful. Did you? What kind of work did you do that these were required?"
I was a manager, pretty much. Kind of. It's hard to explain my job description. I kind of did everything everywhere. So, I
I see.
never settled down until here, really. And I was kind of forced to settle down here. This was not my choice. This is my boss's choice. She made a decision for me. But, it's fine.
I see. My dad did a similar thing, so
Well,
moved around a lot. Went
maybe I
on.
knew him. He might have worked under the same company.
Maybe.
Maybe that's why you seem so familiar. I don't know, though. Maybe.
Maybe. She's gonna go back to looking at daggers, like fully confirmed that this lady works for the order.
I mean, it was kind of confirmed by the face markings, actually.
No, yeah, she just wanted to test something, and she was like, yeah, no, totally.
Mm-hmm.
So
As you are looking at the daggers, uh, the blade of the dagger that I showed in the pictures, actually, the blade starts swirling a bluish hue. Uh, and you, once again, are almost transported. Uh, it is now only a few days beforehand, or should I say today? Maybe earlier today? Sort of.
sort
And
of.
you are in front of the clock tower again. And if you can you roll a perception for me?
Yes, I can. I dropped. Oh, I got a 10.
You can notice that you are once again your more adult self. Um, your clothes have changed back to normal, but the setting isn't normal. The town is now back full up and running. Uh, and but there's no blood on the floor where the the clock tower owner was, where Runa was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what are you doing?
Cerise is gonna look around, take it all in, sort of try and track the time as it's gone by and see where exactly she ended up this time. And she's gonna like look at the street like that would become the scene of a murder, and then she's gonna look up at the clock tower, um, and she's gonna sort of nod and um, kind of meander a little bit closer, try and see if any of the people that she would have recognized that worked at the clock tower are around at all.
Can you roll investigation for me? Since you're
It's okay.
actively looking.
Yeah. Oh no. You got a 3.
Oh, I wanted to give you so much information. uh, at one of the shops, you can see some furry cat ears, but that's about it.
Okay. Yeah. I guess she would be sort of like distracted, like reliving and then preparing to relive again the eventual murder of Runa. So she's like, oh. So she's like kind of like looking around. She recognizes Cogs's ears, but that's sort of it. And she's
Actually, were
like,
they Cogses or were they Zagans? You don't know.
funky ears. She doesn't know Zagan very well. So she's probably assuming that it's Cogs, but she doesn't really
Probably.
know. Um, she's looking around, wandering around. She would
How
probably.
long would you have been at the town at this point? Like would have been a few years? Would you have kept up with Runa?
It would have been several years.
Yeah.
Um,
You're talking about cat ears go out. It's okay.
um, trying to think. It would have been several years because she's in like her late 20s. But so she's a wanderer. She does, in fact, end up staying with Runa for a little bit and then moving on. But she sort of writes little updates, sort of keeps vaguely in touch with Runa, hears about stuff that Runa does, like
So
with the
almost
clock
like
tower
pen
updates.
pals.
Sort of, but very vague stuff. Because Cerise is like, I don't really want to get involved with you because this is where my dad died. But so she stays in the same general vicinity as the town, and every once in a while she'll come back, maybe in like a disguise or like undercover or something, just to see if she can see Runa and like visually check in on her. But other than that, she's sort of vague pen pals.
Would you know
Runa's
that she had
probably
like
like,
gotten like people to help her work at her place?
yeah, that probably would have come up in the letters because like,
Probably.
I have assistants. I have a little guy. Look at my son.
Oh, absolutely. Would you
Yeah,
know about Runa's girlfriend?
probably vaguely,
Okay.
probably vaguely, not a lot of detail.
Mm. Runa would have been like, I have a girlfriend. I love
I'm
my
a
wife.
girlfriend. I love my wife. I miss my wife tails. I miss her a lot. Yeah. She probably knows like vague general updates about Runa, and every once in a while she would want to like stop by town and see her. Every once in a while, maybe in disguise, maybe not. But other than that, she's been traveling to like other towns, other areas in this world, sort of garnering sort of her own vibe, her own like sort of magic, and becoming the
The
warlock that
Cerise
she
we
is
know
today.
today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tee moments. She still has the same god she worships as she did when she was a kid.
Yeah, yes she does. But now she has funky powers that she wouldn't have gotten.
Can you roll another investigation for me, please?
Oh, that was better. 17.
If you look at the clock tower, you will notice that it is only 2 minutes until the time where Runa was beheaded.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cerise is gonna look around and probably move away from the spot, like within earshot and within like viewing distance, into incidentally the same spot that she was before.
good. If you look around as well, you can see it clearer now that Cogs is running errands, and you can see Haley and Danielle coming out of school. You can there's a real big college now.
College town.
Yeah. But you can't see Phelan or Zagan anywhere. Uh, and as you as your eyes move away from the college, you can hear a familiar voice calling out from the clock tower. But she doesn't seem to be saying anything. She's just yelling something incoherent. And you can tell that it's Runa. Do your eyes snap back to where she is?
Probably. She's probably gonna like sort of triangulate. She's like Cogs, them, like looking for the other two, and then she's gonna hear it. She's gonna snap up to the clock tower and then look for like the door. But
Well then, hi Dad.
hi, Dad.
um, as your eyes snap back to the clock tower, you can see that Runa has already come out of the door. The door is wide open, and you can see the clock tower assassin running out of it. And as he puts his sword up in the air, you can see that familiar at this point blue swirls in his sword. And you are now in a void. A void full of the blue swirls. It is filling your every sense. It is all around you. And this is where we're ending the session for today.
Ah! Yippee! Crazy!
Gee, let's go.
Oh no!
Oh yes, actually. Alright, this was Cerise's backstory. Next up, we will be having Cogs's backstory if everything works out correctly. This was season 1, episode 2. Let's go! We're doing great.
We're doing so good!
Be prepared for... How many more backstories are there? Fuck. Wait, be prepared for 1, 2...
Would we do like a joint one for Haley and Danielle? Or not?
I am not come
Just
to that
their
conclusion
college
yet.
years? That's fair!
doing one, two, three, four, five more, I think. Five more backstory sessions. So,
Crazy.
this is gonna be great. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. This is
It's
gonna
gonna
be
be amazing.
awesome. Alright, thank you for being here today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Bye, chat. Bye, chat.
bye!